Who knew that spaghetti could give you superpowers?
How much is this woman willing to cough up in order to not get kidnapped? You can pay me $100.
I have 60.
That'll do.
Okay, before I start the video, yes, let's acknowledge the pedo stash. I haven't shaved. I've just been lazy. Moving on. So, okay, I watched Spaghettiman, and yes, it is ridiculous as it sounds. This movie is about Clark, who is a big nobody. He doesn't care about anybody or himself. And basically, he gets his superpowers by heating up some old spaghetti in this mysterious microwave, and then he eats it, wakes up after a coma or something, and pees out spaghetti. Now, his friend Dell, who's trying to become a police officer, tries to help him get a job and all this stuff, but Clark, of course, doesn't really care. And now with this superpower, he thinks he can change things around because guess what? He wants to use his superpower to save people, but he wants to charge them for it. Now, I know what you're going to say. This movie looks terrible, but actually it doesn't seem all that bad once you watch it. Like, if you think about it, it's a pretty interesting plot. It's not bad, but it actually is funny. And that's what I liked about the story because it cracked me up a bunch of times. I found myself enjoying this movie more than I would think. Obviously, this movie's super low budget if you've seen the trailer. And a lot of the action scenes and acting is kind of terrible too, but it kind of worked for this kind of film because it knows not to take itself serious, and neither should the viewer. He's like your Spider-Man, except he doesn't shoot out webs, he shoots out spaghetti. And then I don't understand how that became his superpower. I guess like if this movie does get a good rep, then hopefully they'll make a Spaghettiman 2, and then somehow there's like an origin story behind how the spaghetti became like freaking super. But I feel like towards the end of this movie, this kind of became like a Nightcrawler series because it turns into this like buddy thing with a cameraman that's following him around and like recording him for money. And since Spaghettiman does want to get paid for what he does, he obviously is interested in the money. And actually, since he's a big douchebag and he knows it, it actually kind of works. Like, I felt like I was gonna hate him at first because of the trailer, but since he acknowledges it that he is a douchebag, then I'll feel bad for him and sometimes I root for him. And I actually like watching that actor play out this Spaghettiman. And literally all he uses for his costume or disguise is a freaking paper bag and a red hoodie. What else do you need? It's genius. Now, one thing that I thought was clever was the way they used Craigslist, because he literally will post a Craigslist ad to see if anybody's gonna pay up, to see if anybody needs saving, and to see who pays the most. And the funny thing is that he would check like whether they're paying a lot or if they're too far from him, because obviously he doesn't have a car or anything like that. So he's kind of like your bum superhero. And let's face it, the plot is silly. It's super ridiculous. So make sure to just like sit back, grab a drink and some spaghetti and meatballs and just enjoy the film for what it is. I really enjoy this type of low budget indie films because it makes the viewer appreciate it a little bit more, since we know that we shouldn't expect a whole lot of like visual effects. But to be fair, I did enjoy this movie quite a lot and I found myself cracking up a lot. Obviously, I didn't like some of the parts, like for example, Dell, I kind of found him a little bit too annoying at points, and some of the dialogue did get boring until the spaghetti action came along. That's when this movie shined the most for me. So I'm gonna give this one a 3 out of 5. So guys, that's my quick review on this movie. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you guys have watched it, please let me know what you think down below. Obviously, if you guys hated it, I can see why, because it is super low budget. If you guys like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Also, if you guys haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please click subscribe and hit the bell. And my question to you guys is, if you guys can put any type of food in that mysterious microwave to give you superpowers, what type of food would it be? Stay tuned.